Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome for the first time. Either way, I'm super happy you're here. So I already did one hand, but now I need to do this hand. So this is going to be part one of my Builder Gel Nail extensions. And this is going to be mostly prep and tip application and then shaping and filing the tips. And then on Friday's video, I will do the Builder Gel application. Otherwise, the video would have been close to an hour long, which I just think is a lot to ask people to watch in one video. So yeah, that's how we're doing this. I am pushing back my cuticles. This is my favorite cuticle pusher. It is from Mooncat. I think it is a glass cuticle pusher, but I'm not 100% positive on that because it doesn't feel quite the same as my glass one that I got off Amazon. But this one is much more gentle and I have a less likely time of doing damage with this one. So this is my preferred one. I will link it so that you guys can grab it if that's what you want to do. So here's the weird thing. So my right hand right now has a Builder Gel overlay with tips and this Builder Gel that I got off Amazon. Well, I did both hands and I was like, I can't stand this color. It's too dark. It won't work for milky whites. It won't work for most pinks unless they're really dark, vibrant, like opaque pinks. And it just wasn't going to work. I did leave these on for a few days and then I took them off. And so this part of the video is my nail prep from when I did these. But when you get into part two, which will be on Friday, it's with clear Builder Gel. So I took these off. I put on full cover tips for a few days and I went back to Amazon and I bought the clear. I was going to buy the proper pink, the baby like sheer pink that I wanted to begin with, but I was just too worried that if it was too, because I've never used it before, so if it was just too dark, there was no way. So I am nipping my cuticles right now. I do not recommend this if you've never done it before or if you're not very good at it. I can't even tell you guys how many times I have hurt myself with these. They are not, I don't think they're for beginners, but, they're your hands. So I'm not going to tell you guys what to do. I'm just showing you guys what I do. And I am not a professional. I'm a DIYer and it took me years to get comfortable with these. And even still, sometimes I snap that wrong part of the skin and grab some live skin versus dead skin. So just be really cautious if you're going to use these. They are a little bit dangerous. So anyway, back to what I was saying, which I think I lost my train of thought, so I don't even know what I was saying. Yeah, last week was a week. I decided because I really wanted my Builder Gel overlay video to reflect what I was happy with and what I was going to keep on my nails. I didn't put a video out Tuesday. And then I did a video Thursday for Friday, but I forgot that my fiance had Friday off to spend the day together because it was the 2-year anniversary of his son passing. And that was more important, obviously. So I was like, okay, scrapping this week. We took the week off. And then I was going to do another prepping video, but to be honest, I only did this a week ago, like last Monday. So there was no way I was going to re-prep my nails in the same way. I don't need to cut my cuticles once a week. I only do it every 2 to 3 weeks, sometimes even longer. I may push back my cuticles often, but I don't actually do any of this. So I decided to split and use this part of the video to show my nail prep and the other part to show my new and updated Builder Gel application. So yeah, that's where we're at. So once I am done cutting all my cuticles, which I'm almost done, man, they were really grown out. And I think it only been a couple weeks. I'm not sure, but yeah. I do have base gel and top coat on my nails right now. So it's kind of grown out. I think you can kind of see where the grow outline is. And so I am going to have to file that off, or at least down to a really thin layer. Since I'm just putting gel over the top, I don't really care that there's Builder Gel or gel already on the nails, but I need it to be as thin as I possibly can. I'm also cutting down my nails, just the ones that were like just to the end of that free edge, and I'm just doing that because I want the tips to have a really good adhesion. And yeah, so hopefully they'll grow out under the builder gel. That's the goal, but they were a little bit too long, and I really want them to adhere really well to the nail tips. So next week we'll be back to like actual nail art and dip colors or gel colors, whatever I decide to do. I think I'll probably be sticking with dip just for a little while, but I do have gel on my hands right now because when I was done doing all the filming for the builder gel overlay, it was very late in the day. It was very close to dinner time. So I just slapped on a one color gel polish on both hands. And that's probably what's going to be on for the majority of the week, because on Monday, my son will, well, actually this weekend, we go pick up my son in Washington. We're going to spend the weekend there to visit some family. And Monday he starts back to school. And I have not, he homeschools because he goes back and forth from my place in Montana to his dad's place in Washington. So he homeschools, and I haven't even gotten anything ready. So I have a few days to sit down and really get his, at least the first week ready, but I like to try to do like a month at a time. So I've got a lot of work to do this week. So this was actually ended up being perfect that it was like 2 videos in one, kind of, although it was 2 different videos, but I think you guys know what I mean. Part 1, part 2. And then I can just take the week off of nails, which I really hate to do because I love to do my nails multiple times a week and keep these designs changing out. But at the end of the day, I got to get his school stuff ready. I'm sure most of you guys know, like, this is really busy with all the kids getting back to school. I think a lot of kids have already started school or are starting this week. My son goes by Montana School District, and technically he should be starting school on Thursday, but because he's in Washington, we can't, because all of his stuff is here. His computer that he uses. I am using the iGel Beauty e-file, and I only have it on 3 because I am going over natural nails, and I am using the 180 sanding band. These are the little mini sanding bands that I cannot get enough of. I haven't even used a regular sanding band since I got these. That's how much I love them. They are amazing. So while I'm doing this, I'll keep chatting, but the fortunate thing about homeschooling is we can adjust. Like, yeah, he's going to start school a couple days late, but we can easily make that up. So I'm not too worried about it. And technically, he's not supposed to start school until, well, technically there's no school on Monday, but I'm going to have him start Monday anyway. It's not like we're doing anything, so it's really not a big deal. And that way he can make up one of those days that he's missing. So that is, again, the nice thing about homeschooling is you can easily make up if you miss a day or you can't start for some reason or whatever happens. He does tend to get a little bit behind sometimes. So yeah, homeschooling is very nice. Also very hard. So, with that being said, I'm looking forward to, I don't know, just some kind of normal routine back. Summer around here is crazy because we only have this short window of time before the snow hits the ground again to get any outdoor projects done. And we did get a decent amount done this summer, but not as much as we wanted to. But it happens. Life gets busy, unfortunately. So it is what it is. So back to nails. Let's keep chatting about the nails. So I'm almost done with the filing, and I am just kind of, I mean, it looks like I'm kind of going over and over and over, but again, that's because I have base gel and top coat down, and I'm just trying to get that either off as much as I can or a very, very thin layer. I'm not really, if you watch the filing, I'm more filing at the top of the nail, the closer to the free edge and not as much around the cuticle. And that way I can get, I just want a pretty even surface to work off of, if that makes sense. I think that makes sense. And then when we're done with this, we will get into the tip application. I must say, it feels so good to have like just nails on my hands again all the time where they're just there. Like when I did these and I left them on for a few days, even though I was not a fan of the color, it felt so good just to have nails on. And then when I took these off and put the press or the full cover tips on, and I just did those with the Curve Life gels or the Curve Life glue so that I could pop them off really easily. Um, it just felt good to like have nails on. But I think I've been doing a lot more creative designs lately, and most of that has been with gel. And I am still a little bit nervous to like go too crazy with gels on my natural nails. Although I do have Beetles gel polish on right now, and I'm having zero issues. So Beetles is for the win. Looks like another gel company that I can use that isn't giving me any kind of allergies, which is great because Model 1s and Beetles are pretty affordable. Like in the grand scheme of things, they're really affordable. So at least what I'm not allergic to is affordable. But it's a lot harder to be creative on your actual nails when you're like, you know, trying to work on your nails versus I am scrubbing my nails with some alcohol right now just to get any filings off. And now we're updated. We're on to, this is what I'm going to be doing on the left hand. So obviously not all in this video. I'm just going to show the tip application and the filing. But anyway, like I was saying, I'm a little bit nervous about, you know, the press-ons. I just loved designing them. They were so much easier. I am sizing out my tips right now. If you guys were wondering what I'm doing, I'm making sure they fit perfect from side to side, and they do. So I'm making sure there's no gaps, no overhang, nothing like that. And I already pretty much know my sizes. That's why I'm grabbing them so easy. A, I just did my right hand, and B, I've used these again before. And I hate these tips because they're already like the length, well, mostly the length I want. You'll see in a moment. Like I have my door open and the wind keeps like gusting in, and this is like the fourth time it's knocked that over, and I'm starting to get just a little frustrated. So I'm going to move these. I do eventually get up and shut the door because I didn't have a choice. The wind was just being crazy. But I'm going to move my tips so that they will stop knocking over, making sure that they didn't get pushed out of order. That's why I resized the middle, because I do not want to put a pointer or ring on my middle. That would be bad. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. I am just rambling. So I'm going to go in with this glue. I am going to do you guys a huge favor, and I'm not going to link this glue. I will link the glue that I should have used, but I'm pretty much out, so I need to get more. This glue is horrendous. I love the precision tip on it because it's very skinny, so it makes applying things a lot easier, which is why I got it. But I had to hold this down forever. If this was in real time, you guys would be yawning right now. It is sped up tiny, tiny, tiny bit, but this was ridiculous. And so when I get to like the middle, the pointer and the thumb, I just skip over the holding down. I edited that out, but I did have to hold every single stinking nail down for so much longer than I should have. And at this point, I should have switched. I have the Glamnetic brush on glue, and I should have switched, but I didn't. My bad. Okay, back to these tips while you guys are watching me struggle to glue these darn things down. I really like these tips because they're already like mostly the length I want. They're already the shape I want, so then I don't have to struggle with trying to get a square tip to an almond shape, which is what I wanted, was an almond shape. And that's why in the original video I did square, because I wasn't confident enough to make them almond and make them all look really good. So that is why I love these tips, but they crack. I don't know when or why. You can see it on my thumb, like just from being back there. Once I get the tips on and then I start building over them, they flip and crack for some reason. It's so annoying and so frustrating. If I was using like a sheer pink or something darker, you wouldn't even be able to see that they cracked, but because I'm using clear, it's very obvious. They're fine. There's like, they just have these like hairline cracks in them, so it's not really a big deal. It's more aesthetic that it's annoying. But I don't have a choice but to deal with it unless I can find some other ones that are like, I want shorter ones. Like all the stiletto ones I find are so long, and I couldn't possibly, they're not in a million years would I be able to use them. So is what it is, but that part is extremely, extremely, extremely frustrating. So at this point, I saw that my middle nail was a little bit crooked. So I was like, oh, I wonder if I can move it. Oh yeah, I can because this glue takes forever to dry. Why? Anyway, I will not be using this glue again. And like I said, I won't link it, but I will link the one that I absolutely love that I wish I had more of so I could have used that. Or you can use any glue that you like that doesn't take 45 minutes to dry. It's not 45 minutes, but it does feel like 45 minutes. I just had some of the lint from the lint-free wipe. Yeah, go figure. On my thumb. And so I was just getting that off. So now because that they took so long to dry and because I was worried that they weren't going to hold down, I'm just kind of going across where the tip meets the nail and I'm just putting a little bit of glue down and then holding it down just to make sure they're super, 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 super secure. Because the last thing I want is them like separating while they're on my, I mean, that would be horrible. So I'm just being extra cautious. Again, I was being lazy and I should have gotten up and grabbed my other glue right away. That was not the best decision that I could have made. But so far they're holding strong. So really at the end of the day, that's all that matters. But man, that was a struggle. Um, I don't know what I'm doing. I think I had glue on my finger. I think I did. I think I flooded. I flooded my cuticles with glue, which is never a good thing. But because this takes so long to dry, it's pretty easy to wipe off your skin without drying first. So I guess that's a bonus. All right. Ugh, I am just yapping and yapping and yapping. Okay, we're going to take our tip cutters, and I don't have these to any size. I'm not trying to cut them down. I'm trying to cut off the super, like just the pointy. I only want to cut the pointy off because I want to make them a little bit less pointy and a little bit more almondy, but with like a pointy almond, I guess, if that makes sense. I mean, you can see what they look like on my right hand. So I've already filed down. I wasn't going to make you guys sit here and watch me file every single nail again. So I've done them all except this one. So they kind of flare out and then start curving, and I don't like that. So I'm just kind of trying to make them more seamless, like, you know, like an almond nail. And I'm mostly like filing underneath the nail with a little bit of pressure on the side of the nail, but just a tiny bit. And you can see I go back and forth from side to side. Like I don't stay on one side for more than a couple like strokes of the file because the last thing I want to do is over file one side and then they look extremely wonky, which is probably the biggest problem I have with trying to take a square tip and making it almond. I somehow always mess up at least one nail and then I'm frustrated because one nail is so off and the rest look good and then I just scrap it. So that's why I got these tips and that's why I really love these tips. But again, the cracking, why does there always have to be something not good about them? Okay, so I'm almost happy with the shape, and then I will go in and I will buff out the surface and I will also kind of make it flush where the tip meets the natural nail. And that's another thing I really love about these is they are really easy to file and make it look flush. Some tips that I've used, it's like that line between the nail and the natural nail and the tip is just so there and like there's nothing I can do. These I can get a seamless, like, I mean, you can see it obviously because they're two different colors and two different makeups of chemical, like my natural nail versus the tip is two totally different things, but they do lay and file really, really flush, so it does make putting an overlay on super, super easy. And I do love that. So I'm almost wrapped up with this because this part doesn't take too long to, you know, buff out the tip and flush it down. Flush it down? No. Never mind. I don't know what I was going to say, but We are almost done, and this does kind of abruptly end. So I'm just going to, as soon as I finish this, I'm going to take a fluffy brush and I'm going to wipe off all the dust. And then I'm going to take my hard brush and I'm going to dip it in some alcohol and I'm going to clean off all my nails so they are ready for the next step that you guys will see on Friday. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching and being here. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, please reach out. I will respond to everyone. And I will see you guys in Friday's video where we get into part 2 of building these. Have a beautiful day. Bye.